Greetings, everyone. My name is Faizuddin, and I work from Relish magazine. And here to introduce my group.
I'm Victoria. I was in charge of the content, so I was content executive. I helped look for recipes and photos and articles to go in the magazine.
Hi, I'm Ricky Gordon. I was the social media executive. I was in charge of the Instagram and our Facebook page, posting photos and the captions for it.
My name is Faizuddin. I'm the multimedia executive. I'm in charge of uploading and handling the YouTube channels. I upload the videos to YouTube channels and also design all the thumbnails for the videos that go on the YouTube channel as well.
And my name is Jianzhan, that's my Chinese name. My English name is John. I'm the multimedia executive, which I will be handling more on the video editing, the song recording, the sound recording, all those editorial sides of the videos.
Right. First look at our magazine. Our supermarket has decided to follow in every other steps of every other supermarket and decided to launch its own magazine to extend the brand, as it were. And we're publishing in seasons, so there'll be only 4 issues a year, and this is designed to keep publishing costs very, very low. And the first issue, which is focusing on Gujarati lifestyle, will be launched in spring 2019. That's why our first issue is called Relish Spring Edition. And the magazine will not only focus on just food recipes, but it's also focusing on lifestyle and travel around Gujarat, highlighting Gujarat as a place.
So we conducted a competitive analysis and we identified Asda, Tesco, Waitrose and Sainsbury's as our main competitors. They are the top 4 food magazines, supermarket magazines currently in the UK, based on their circulation. It has become very common for supermarkets to produce their own magazines. It features content, not only food recipes, but also lifestyle, health, and those kinds of things. It promotes not only the supermarket brand, but it also helps them increase sales because they are promoting products that they sell in the supermarket, so it kind of works as advertising for the products, so that's good for them, obviously. We believe that by having our own magazine, this will help us establish our supermarket in the UK, and we believe that we can achieve the same success that these 4 have achieved. And also the use of social media is very important. As we can see, all of them have a strong presence on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram and YouTube. And that's good because it helps not only to promote the supermarket, the magazine and their products, but it's also good to engage with the customers.
So we did the SWOT analysis. Firstly, for the strength, the magazine focuses on healthy living, and there's a demand for it when it comes to our target audience, and I'll be talking about the target audience after this. And it supports fair trade and national suppliers. So we try to do this, but obviously sometimes we do have to get items from outside. And because it is a seasonal magazine, so it's only printed around 4 times a year, the cost is less. And we also promote diversity and cultures by focusing each issue on different countries. So for example, our spring edition issue is on Gujarat, which is in India. And the weaknesses is that there's competition by big supermarket chains who are already very well established in the market. And we have branches in most major cities, but we're not as big as our competition, so basically there's an issue. And because our target audience is young, it is very difficult to convince them to get a physical copy of the magazine because some of them might not want to buy it. And being a seasonal magazine, it makes us not as visible as our competitors because some of them publish it more often than we do. And the opportunities is that we're targeting a growing audience. So as younger people are more interested in healthy and vegan lifestyle, because a lot of people are turning vegan in today's day. And good way to expand the brand beyond just the supermarket. Seasonal issues ensure that we focus on the quality of the content that is being produced and the use of technology to improve the digital version and maybe include an online shopping experience in the future. And lastly is the threats. So the threats are that the competition from our competitions are from big chains, and the magazine are products that fluctuate due to the economic conditions. So the buyers may be affected by the economic conditions that present in the country, and also Brexit can be a threat for us since if we get products from other countries, it might affect that if it happens. And online sites can cover recipe much faster. So there's many online sites that has recipes, so a lot of people wouldn't want to buy our magazine. And also, lastly, apps. So such as Tasty, they have their own app and they also have short videos on how to make food. So our target audience are both males and females. Since we mentioned travel, health, food, and both male and female are mostly interested in that. And we focus on mid-20s to the early 30s. Mostly on single people and young couples because we're focusing on easy to make food, and that's when like single people and young couples usually make food faster than like people who actually like to cook. And also ABCD1 demographic, that's our target audience, and people who lead to busy lifestyles. So again, they're interested in easy to make food, as well as people who are concerned with living a healthy lifestyle and people who like to exercise because our magazine focuses on health as well as the food. And also for people who like to travel and discover new cultures because we do mention the culture in Gujarat. And for people who are conscious about consuming ethical products and using sustainable brands, according to an article that we found on the Financial Times.
Now, multimedia elements. So as I said before, we have a media element like Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So we will upload all our media to there because all the other ones also have their own online extension of their brand. And the videos are only just about a minute long, so it's easy to digest, easy to see, and it's very quick. And the images on also the images on social media, they all relate to articles in magazines. So if they want to find out more, they can always pick up an issue of our magazine. So it's kind of a bit of a promotional thing as well. And on issue, other than the physical edition of the magazine, we have a digital version which people can read. And next slide.
So going back to the social media brand extension, so the use of social media nowadays is vital for any business in the market because this has a place where promotion and engagement go hand in hand. So we have used Instagram, Facebook because our target audience is 20 to 30. So mostly now everyone uses Facebook and Instagram. So we posted image post regularly on our social media. And in our social networks, we intend to share snippets of what our readers will find in the magazine, as well as exclusive contents like recipe videos, and we'll also offer our brand a place where we can interact with our customers.
To monetize our magazine, we came up with a couple ideas, but the main one would be a loyalty scheme for the customers that they can sign up for. And there are 3 different options that they can choose from. There is bronze, silver, and gold, and each one of them will offer them different things that they can choose from. So the bronze one would cost them $250 per year, and they would that would give customers 5% off their shopping. They also collect points that they can use later to spend on their shopping as well. And that gives them a free copy of the magazine that they can collect directly from our shops. The silver one would cost £5 per year, and that would give customers 10% off. They would also collect points, and they can choose to have their copy of the magazine sent to them to their homes. And the gold one would cost £7.50 per year, but that would give the customers £15 off. They would also collect more points, and they can choose to have the magazine sent to their homes, and that would also include free access to the digital version. And other ways that we plan to monetize the magazine as well is obviously partnerships and sponsorships with brands that we sell products from, and ads on the magazine. And also the channel on our YouTube, we can get monetization from that. And for customers who don't have a loyalty card, the magazine would cost £1. So that is a way of getting money to expand the magazine and work on that, but also giving our customers something back.
And this is our ways of how we're gonna launch the campaign of the whole magazine and also the whole franchise. First, we will launch an event before the week which our issues of the magazine will be launched. The event will be held at the ballroom at the Radisson Blu Portman Hotel in London. So our capacity for this event will be between 100 to 150 guests, and it will be mostly include with journalist staffs of the company, bloggers, and also important celebrities, which mainly the chefs. And you also invite those sponsors and also brands which have a partnership with us, and also we invite those like supermarkets like Tesco or Red Rose or Asda to join us in this launch as well. There will be a dinner with typical Gujarati food, as we are actually following this based on the theme of the whole magazine launch thing is about Gujarati. And in terms of entertainment, there will be cultural performances by Gujarati dance, and then there will be like Gujarati's speeches on, and also those dance performances of Gaba. The CEO of the supermarket and editor-in-chief of the magazine will also provide speeches, like a short speech, and the whole idea of this campaign is we will start promoting our magazine on social media and posters as well, such as during the marketing launch campaign or during the event. We will use our social media platform to, let's say, for example, live video, live footage, and
Live stream.
live streaming on our media platforms. And we want to send out emails as well to our customers, and also where possible to try a partnership with celebrity chefs to get them to promote the magazine through our social networks.
So we're trying to get the magazine to be as visible as possible within the market in this way.
And that's it.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So, a few questions. Peter, you want to?
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Shall I ask mine first?
Go on.
How important, you mentioned a few times, and I thought this was interesting because it's the first time we've talked about it, and you mentioned ethical, fair trade, you talked about diversity, you talked about the article in the Financial Times. Could you tell us a bit more about your understanding of that and how that's going to, because, I'm on the board and I'm giving you £1 million a year. Why should I do that to promote fair trade and diversity? Why is that in my advantage?
There's been some studies that I mentioned in the Financial Times. I raised the link in the presentation. Basically, this younger generation of people, like mid-20s to 30s and millennials,
They're more conscious of things.
they look more for brands that are ethically conscious. You know, they buy from fair trade brands and products, not only for food but also like skincare and that kind of thing. And so that's why we think it's important to consider that, because
Okay.
it's becoming more and more popular.
If you're addressing
People-
that group, you need
Yeah.
to be aware of that.
Because
Yeah.
that demographic really likes looking behind the curtain and wants to see like how it's made is just as important as the product itself.
Is that just in the UK, or do you think that's the
No,
case?
it's
in-
No,
It's an American thing. It's
Yeah.
also
What
very
about in
peaceful.
Malaysia, though?
It's also getting popular in Malaysia. A lot of organic foods, I guess, is getting more and more traction
Okay.
other than just your regular old supermarkets. Younger people are flocking more towards organic food.
Okay. Peter?
So it's free magazine.
it's free for people who have the loyalty card. So because they pay an annual fee to get the loyalty card, that money will then be invested in the magazine, but they also get benefits from it. So money off their shopping, as well as collecting points too.
I'm happy to dive straight into the loyalty scheme at this point. I had that sort of saved up near the end. On my, as a member of a family that economised by doing this sort of loyalty scheme with Tesco, I can tell you that we were spending £300 a month and just getting everything from Tesco. And on just your silver loyalty scheme, I've calculated that for the £5 per year purchase price of the card, I would make £360 savings on my groceries, and on the gold, I would make £540 just on the discount you're offering to go with that card for £7.50. And I think that it's a case of experience teaches me that you should always do the maths on these things before you dive in. We've all got stories from airlines who have offered these brilliant loyalty schemes, and then someone's done the maths and realised the business is going to go down the plug hole, and this might be one of these areas of the discount. So the loyalty scheme, I suspect that's something where you will give them something, but not they will give you money in order to have the discount card. But it's a whole separate thing to do with sort of, I think.
The trick with the loyalty cards is to make you feel as a customer that you're getting something valuable, but it doesn't cost you much. It's my wife's crazy again with these Tesco points, you know. It's like we have to go there because she gets some discount. She gets like £5 a quarter or something, you know.
Yes,
It's
so-
hardly anything, and it's like the petrol's like 4 pence cheaper everywhere else, you know.
I think the trick with the discount card is to entice people into using the card in the belief that they'll save money, but to not actually use it to buy the things that you're offering them big discounts on, so that you get all their data, but you don't actually have to give them discount on things. So, for example, Tesco offering discount on ferries and things like that. That works great as long as everybody doesn't do it. It's one of those funny things where you sell it and you hope that people don't actually take full advantage of it. It's quite clever. So, but going back to the start, you said you had these three big things for your magazine, and it was lifestyle, food, and travel. And I was particularly interested in the travel aspect because none of your competitors do travel, and I didn't actually hear you sort of go into that at all later on. Why did you throw travel in? Was that sort of added extra, or was it really intended as a feature part of the magazine?
It's an intended feature because in each issue we're covering a different country. So we thought it would be interesting to also have a bit of travel there, because then people can understand a little bit more about what it's like going to that country. So So you have like the really nice food, and also you have these really nice places where you might want to go.
And as well, it's related to our target audience. We're targeting couples in their 20s and 30s, and they have a bit more of a disposable income to use, and we're trying to like entice them.
I guess what I'm getting at is that you're selling a service that the magazine isn't. So that's not the purpose of the business, that the magazine is there to sell. So you're selling groceries, but you're promoting travel services. Would you sort of envisage the waitress or the company to start selling travel services?
Good in the future.
You see where I'm going with this? That you're sort of going into a whole area that some would say is straying away from the prime objective of the company itself.
The secret would be to have a partnership, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you can do it, but perhaps it needed a little bit more sort of filling out there. You talked about the savings. It's a 3-month life cycle for the magazine. Is that correct? It's going to come out
Seasonal.
yeah
Seasonal.
every 4 months. Is that, or are you going to bunch it like one for Christmas, one for Easter, and
No, it would be.
is there a particular
spring, summer,
holiday
winter,
period?
and autumn.
But it's not. Is it
Oh,
going
you're
to be
talking about
printed
special-
according to a date or according to a particular holiday period, buying period? So, for example, if I'm looking at a seasonal magazine, I might question, okay, do I really want to have my magazine hitting the shelves at the point at which everybody goes on holidays and is shopping somewhere else? Do you see what I mean? To consider
Finding the date
how
for
it
that.
ties in
Correct.
when with the times at which
Oh, you
people
think
are
that the
actually
publishing
shopping.
date when we
Yeah,
publish it,
when
When you
it
release it
actually
onto the
gets
shelves.
released. Yeah, to think in terms of when the audience are going to use it. You mentioned the threats. You had your SWOT analysis, the threats of Brexit. How is Brexit going to be a threat to an in-house supermarket magazine?
Because we said that we would support fair trade and national suppliers as most as we can. But obviously some things we would have to get from international suppliers, so Brexit could affect how we,
mainly to the cost. It'll be much more expensive to import stuff in rather than getting it from a local supplier.
I'm getting a little bit confused here. So is the supermarket going to stock what the magazine decides to write stories about, or is the magazine
Yeah,
going to write about what the supermarket is stocking?
a little bit of both, I guess, because what we sell in the supermarket is going to be promoted in the magazine. So if
The
we
ingredients.
so if we need to import some of the things we sell in the magazine, that could affect. What we sell in the supermarket, that could affect.
What we could put in the magazine.
Yeah.
I was thinking where you could perhaps have identified opportunities for selling advertising. For example, I saw a film earlier with Schwartz. Was it the Schwartz? Someone was correcting me. Was it the mustard seeds or something? They must have a good brand because it stuck out. I immediately recognised Schwartz and thought, oh, Schwartz, what's going on here? That's a good promotion for them. So I was thinking, well, your magazine is easy to tie in with the brands that you're selling in the supermarket. The fair trade, the ethical sort of purchasing thing, that's very much either the supermarket is already doing it or they're not, I guess. And if you want the magazine to be ethical branding, then I guess you can only deal with what they have there. I was a little bit confused because there's a lot of cross-pollination between what a magazine does and your role in sort of promoting and designing a magazine, and actually what the supermarket has, and perhaps because the supermarket, I mean, were you left very much to sort of think of your own supermarket, or were you told it was Morrison's or a particular one?
Kind of Waitrose like, wasn't it?
Yeah, okay, so it was a bit, so you were able to decide that your supermarket was going to be right on. Okay, that's a little bit confusing. Your target audience, again, I think I've said it on earlier presentations, the trouble with having such a broad target audience that it makes it that much more difficult to design to. So, for example, for male and female is sort of telling me, well, anybody, but then that doesn't help me if I'm the designer to make a decision whether I'm going to do focus on foods that make me grow big muscles or focus on
Good for your skin.
on things that are good for your skin, to use complete cliches about this. It doesn't lend me towards one thing or the other, whether I'm going to photograph my food as being sort of on plates, with people standing outside, or whether it's on delicate china, or, these kind of design decisions. I didn't think that was going to help with, because it was still a bit broad. We talked about the ethical brands, the branding on the videos and images. I don't think I saw any example of that. So you're doing a lot of work with social media, Instagram and Facebook, which you believe everybody has.
It's Instagram, Facebook.
Let's sweep over that one. But I thought, well, that's interesting, the branding, because obviously people are going to hopefully pick up and republish these things. So once people pick up your video and they republish it, how does that pull them towards your supermarket? Is everything watermarked in some way, the images and stuff?
It did say relish.
It's
It did, that's the name of the magazine.
video,
Is right.
So it's going to be Relish, the name of the in-house magazine, rather than the name of the supermarket.
You'd probably have that in there as well.
In the description box on
I'm
YouTube.
tempted to say, can anyone name any in-house magazine? But of course, I'm in a class where this is the only class where people would actually be able to answer that question. You all know the names of the supermarket magazines, I suppose.
You do now.
You do now. Okay. It's worth considering, though, writing on the back of the main brand, which is the magazine.
Can I ask you
That was it. I enjoyed the presentation, and I'm glad you've got a budget of £1 million a year you're giving them to make this magazine.
Something like that. One question,
I'll help.
would you consider making an app? Because you did say at one point that you didn't think younger people would pick up and look at. So you're trying to, your goal is to build ingredient sales in the magazine. I mean, using a magazine within the supermarket. Would you consider an app? What would you think? What would be the pros and cons? I mean, we didn't ask you that, so just what would be your response to that?
Well, it's just there's on the con side, there's just going to be the budget in terms of developing an app. It's going to be very costly in terms of hiring programmers, getting design, and then